Have you ever wondered how to improve your mental health? We all know how to improve our physical health, right? We know that we should go to the gym, we should eat healthy, and that will help us to feel better physically. But how can we feel better mentally? This is a question that I want to dive into with you today, and I have 5 different tools that I want to share with you today in order to help you improve your mental health. So let's get started. Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Julia Arndt, and I'm a peak performance coach and stress management trainer. And I am, as always, really excited to record this video today for you because I think improving your mental health is such an important topic and a question that you might have been asking yourself, which is why you're watching this video right now, right? How do we improve our mental health? Everyone is kind of talking about it nowadays. We know that a lot of people are suffering from anxiety and depression and from burnout, but we don't really actually know how to improve our mental health. What kind of routines can we create on a day-to-day basis in order to feel better mentally? And so in today's video, I want to share 5 different steps or tools with you on how you can start investing more into your own mental health. And as you know, the first thing that I can only say is that it is so important that you are investing in your mental health, because we all have physical health and mental health, and we don't always suffer from a mental illness, but we all have mental health. And if we are not taking care of ourselves, if we're not taking care of ourselves mentally and physically, we can develop a mental illness. I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression in 2018 as a result of a work burnout, and it really struck me. I was really surprised by that diagnosis because I always considered myself a very healthy and active person, but I never really consciously invested in my mental health. So the first thing that I did when I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression and was at home for 3 months medical leave, I started to write a journal. And that is the first thing that I want to talk with you today about, because I think when you want to improve your mental health, you first of all need to create awareness around what is going on up here on a daily basis. So observing your thoughts is the first tool that I want to share with you today. There are 3 incredibly important questions that I learned about from Dr. Joe Dispenza in his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And he talks about how you think, how you feel, and how you act. Those are 3 things that you can start observing in order to create a little bit more awareness around how you're feeling, how you're thinking, and how you're behaving. Is it in positive ways or is it in negative ways, right? And so I think just really these 3 simple questions can be super powerful in order to give you some insight in how you're doing mentally. Are the thoughts that you have positive? Are the thoughts that you have negative? Are they helpful for you? Are they unhelpful? Are they supporting your confidence levels, or are they decreasing your confidence levels? Because oftentimes, all the time, everything that's going on up here will impact and influence the world that you create around you, right? Because the way we think and feel influences our behaviors and actions. And with that, we create our external world. So it is super imperative to think about what are you feeling, thinking, and how are you behaving on a day-to-day basis. So observing your thoughts in order to create more awareness around your mental health is the first important step. Step number 2 then, oftentimes you might realize that you are having not so positive thoughts, that your thoughts are actually more negative. And the next step that you want to actively invest in is to shift your negative thoughts to more positive thoughts. Now, that is not so easy, and I've been working on this for years now, and there's always something new that is coming up. There's always something new that comes into your awareness, but it's just a beautiful process and you will never stop learning. But it's great to really be more mindful of your thoughts, and obviously there are times in your life where you need to pay more attention to your thoughts than other times, because maybe something has happened in your external world that is influencing how you feel, act, and think at the moment. So shifting your negative thoughts to more positive thoughts. How can you do that? Well, it's actually simple in theory, way harder in practice, but I'm going to share obviously the theory with you, and then I will hopefully inspire you to test this out. But there's a couple of different ways on how you can do it. Journaling can be a way to do this. Having a gratitude practice, to write down all of the things that you feel grateful for, because oftentimes when we are having a lot of negative thoughts and feelings, we are actually activating our stress level. So we are under stress all the time because we are creating this environment for ourselves that's putting us under stress, under threat, where our body feels like we need to stay safe and we need to protect ourselves. In order to shift your negative thinking patterns into something more positive, it can be really helpful to write down the things that you feel grateful for. So to shift your perspective from all of the things that are not going well right now to the things that are actually going well. And it really helps me to do this every day. I do this every single morning for 3 to 5 minutes. I write down 3 to 5 things that I feel absolutely grateful for. Sometimes I wake up with that thought. The first thing I do, I wake up, I have a negative thought coming into my mind. I think, okay, what can I actually be grateful for? What was something that I'm super grateful for? Then I get up, I write it down in my journal. And then sometimes even when I go to sleep in the evening, I lay down in bed and I think about, okay, what are all the great things that helped me today? And what are the great things that I feel grateful for? Because let's be honest, there are so many amazing things that are happening in our life, and we need to be more aware of it. So really helping that negative to shift to the positive, gratitude can be super, super powerful. Another thing is to work with positive affirmations. Again, something that I'm doing on a regular basis. I get inspired by different quotes that I see, by things that come up for myself, and then I write them down on a post-it note. And I just put them somewhere where I can see them every single day, where I'm constantly reminded, right? Because unfortunately, those thoughts, they usually always drift into something negative. And so by having these kind of visual reminders everywhere in my house, or in the bathroom, in the office here, in my bedroom, really help me to stay present and to shift my perspective on a regular basis, which helps me to rewire my brain. And this is not so easy, because if you have been thinking something for many, many years, it's obviously a little bit harder to rewire your brain. So you need to practice and you need to fake it until you make it. And this can be sometimes powerful and sometimes makes you feel energized and happy. And sometimes it might also make you feel frustrated and angry and upset and sad, because sometimes we have a good day and sometimes we have a bad day. But at the end of the day, we can always just try our best. And you need to remember that there's always a new day, and every day is a new day to start again. So that is number 2. How to improve your mental health is really to shift those negative thoughts that you might have into something more positive, either by journaling, by practicing gratitude, or by shifting those negative thoughts into more positive affirmations. The third step that I want to talk with you about today is to distract yourself. This might come as a surprise, right? Because sometimes people always talk about, but we need to look at the things and we can't shove everything under the carpet or put it in a closet, right? We need to deal with the things that are going on in our head. And I totally agree with that. I think there needs to be a healthy balance between both. We obviously should create awareness around what is going on up here. We should observe our thoughts, our feelings, our actions. We should actively work on practicing gratitude, but then at the same time, too much is too much, right? A little bit of everything is the best balance, right? It's always good to have a balanced life. And so sometimes you might experience times where you just kind of go down this rabbit hole of negative emotions, negative feelings, negative thoughts. And the more time you spend by yourself and you're not distracting your mind, the more you're going down into those negative emotions that make you maybe feel really, really sad, or really desperate, or really angry and frustrated, right? All of these different emotions come up. But then here's the thing, because there's chemicals that are released in your system when you're thinking and feeling that way, it just exacerbates kind of this this moment, right? It makes it even worse. It's not that it's getting better by overthinking it, it's usually making it worse. So distracting yourself is a really good technique in order to get out of these negative thought patterns as well. So do something that really inspires you or that you really like to do. Hang out with people, create new experiences. It's sometimes easier said than done. But trust me, distracting yourself is sometimes the best thing that you can do for yourself in order to get out of here. So, go outside in nature, exercise, right? All of these different things are good ways to distract yourself. I find it really helpful to do it with other people because, again, if you're doing all of these things by yourself, you might still be stuck in your head and you just kind of still continue that negative thought pattern cycle. So go outside and meet people and hang out with people and create new experiences for yourself, put yourself into new situations, get out of your comfort zone, and just make yourself feel better about yourself. The fourth thing that you can do in order to improve your mental health is to talk to a professional. I mean, it's super clear, right? It's super simple actually, because everyone nowadays again talks about having a coach or a therapist or a relationship counselor or an energy healer or whatever, right? Whatever works for you. Talk to someone professional. Talk to just someone else, right? Because we can just see as much. We have our narrow mind. Sometimes we have our reality that we are creating for ourselves by the thoughts and feelings that we have. So if you want to create more awareness about yourself, get professional help and get that external perspective. I really, really believe that it is priceless to invest in a coach or in a therapist or in a counselor, because you will always learn things about yourself that you were not able to see without them. And it's absolutely invaluable, right? I've been spending so much money over the last couple of months on energy healing and therapy because I really needed it. And I needed that external perspective to lift me up and to work on my mental mindset, right? And to work on my mental health. And so I really, really encourage you that if you have never done it, if you have maybe always thought about it, but maybe there's even some stigma around hiring a therapist, don't worry at all. Everyone has a coach, everyone has a therapist, everyone that is really caring about themselves is investing in themselves. And that makes really the difference between being successful and managing your mental space successfully as well. I really believe in that. And so my big recommendation to you is invest in some professional help and just get that different perspective that you might not otherwise see. The last tool and the last thing that I want to share with you today in order to help you improve your mental health is to take care of yourself. Super simple, right? We all know that we should be taking care of yourself, but let's be honest. How often do you ask yourself the question, what do I need right now in this moment? What do I need in order to feel happy? It sometimes is a super difficult question because maybe our focus is so directed at other people, at like our family members, our partners, our kids, our stakeholders, our clients, our coworkers, that we forget about ourselves. And it's not healthy, right? If you want to improve your mental health, if you want to be a stable, well-balanced person, you need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of your own energy levels. So ask yourself the question, what do I need right now in this moment? What can I do for myself in order to feel happy, in order to feel better? And then do that. Go and do that. And even if you don't have time in that moment to do it, then plan for it, right? Maybe you ask yourself the question and you're like, okay, I really need this, but I don't have time right now. Then that's okay as well. It doesn't mean that you can't do it at all. Just do it a little bit delayed, do it a bit later, right? Plan for it. Make room for it in your day in order to take care of yourself. Because again, when it comes to mental health, we have to talk about stress levels. And usually when we are in these negative thought pattern cycles, our stress levels are super elevated because of all of these chemical reactions happening in our bodies. And so we want to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves in order to rebalance those states, right? In order to be more positive. And no matter if it is talking to a professional or distracting yourself or journaling or writing down or going outside, right? All of these different things that I just talked about, those are all things that you can do to improve your mental health. So I am really curious to hear more from you about what you are doing in order to improve your mental health. So leave me a comment down below. What are you doing on a regular basis to improve your mental health? I really believe that it is important to establish somewhat of a routine and a practice every single day, just as you have for your physical health, in order to invest in your mental health in the long run and proactively make sure that you are always well. So thank you so much for watching this video today. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. I look forward to reading your comments, and I talk to you really soon. Bye bye.